Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm off down starting my errands again. So many errands today, but I'll just start crossing them off one at a time. Complain about them, ain't gonna make them happen go away, so. Right now, off to the post office. Somehow I seem to be going to the post office a lot, but it actually rained last night really heavily, so the temperature's actually, according to the bike, 83. So it's actually nice out. And I was like, you know what? I'm only doing a quick delivery, so not the bike could easily do this. It gives me a reason to ride. So, but with that weather last night, it made me kind of wonder if, like, what's everybody's, I won't say level, what's your max temperature of riding and your minimum temperature of riding? I kind of feel like mine's about 40 degrees to about 112-ish, 110, somewhere in there. And because it feels like the other day it was like 114 out and I was stuck at work, it was supposed to be a cooler day, but didn't quite turn out that way. And it's just, as soon as you get on the bike, which is just fine, like I was like, okay. But when I started riding, my legs felt the heat through the jeans. Like, I had a neck gaiter on that I had soaked, and I got arm sleeves on that I had soaked, so I felt like the evaporative cool kind of going on, but it was just surprising how much heat just penetrated through my jeans. And I was like, how on earth? And it kind of went away a little bit after, like, getting some miles in, but it was just so crazy that, like, the first mile, or even just getting on the freeway, it's like, the heat, just the wind pushing through it, it's like, yeah, I feel like my legs are cooking just riding straight right now. And it's not because, the bike wasn't overheating to add extra temperature to it, it was literally just starting. So I just found that amazing how hot that part of it felt. And then, of course, by the time your shift, the end of the ride came along, I was kind of cooking pretty good, but I was like, okay, it was an hour ride. Wouldn't want to go much farther than that on this kind of scenario. But it's just like, I was like, just wow. So I was like, okay, that's the reason why I can't ride every day. But I think if it's under 113-ish, I still feel okay. Life is kind of like 105. I shouldn't go anything higher than that, but, or 110. I don't remember what her exact number was. I think it was 105. But her levels are like 75 and 90, I feel like. So, okay, I could be exaggerating a little bit, and she'll probably give me grief about that, but it's just like the lower spectrum. I've gone out when it's 36, and the bike has heated grips. I've got a heated gloves. I have leather jacket that has, the air is blocked, and I can put layers underneath it. My legs are the ones that have the least amount of weather protection on them. But I think the lower spectrum one for me is the fact that, I'm afraid that, there's not a lot of moisture here. I'm afraid that that there'd be ice on the road, and I wouldn't want to hit a patch of ice. So that's usually my bigger fear on the lower spectrum, is the road condition. Not that I've ever hit that on a bike, but it's also one of the things that stopped me from going to our northern cities during that, late winter time. I was like, oh, it's like already 7 degrees here, cool. What's it up north? Oh, it's like 30 degrees cooler. It was like 20 degrees overnight. I'm like, oh, but if there's any moisture, there could be ice, and do I want to deal with ice on a bike? Yeah, that's something I gotta figure out, like how I want to, if I get stuck in a rainstorm, whatever it is, I'll just keep going through it. Like, if it's raining, will I try to go out? No, unless I have, basically, if it's raining out heavily, I'm only going out if it's trying to get home. Like, I'm not gonna try to go somewhere in a rainstorm if I don't have to. Like, I'd have to go to work and have no other mode of transportation to get there, basically. And then I have to debate, like, is that safe for me to do, or just take the day off? So there's that too. So it just made me wonder. It's like, what is your limits? Like, when do you go, you know what? I just don't feel like that's physically safe to go out. And I mean, in Phoenix, the temperatures are basically your biggest thing. There's not usually a lot of storms. I mean, yes, we can hit the monsoon and or have a haboob pop up, but day-to-day things isn't super crazy. So yeah, it's just one of those things where just like thinking about it, and I was like, am I just too much of a fair weather rider that I refuse to go? Well, not refuse, but I don't feel safe going in those extremes past that level. Does that make me a safe rider, or just? I guess it's just my preference. I mean, I got other friends that they don't want to ride when it's cold. So if it's like below 50, they refuse to take their bike out. And I'm like, it's only 50. I can, throw on gloves and a jacket. I'll be fine. Why aren't we going out? So it's just, it's like the wife, even though she's got a heated jacket, heated gloves. Her bike does not have heated grips. But but if she gets too cold, then it makes her muscles tense up. So is that safe while riding? Also, like, if you have a muscle spasm, you're like, I can't move. So yeah, there's a lot of that too. It's like, so then it does turn into like, what's your safety levels for yourself? And maybe I'm lucky in the fact that I haven't felt any of those type of situations where I don't feel I can safely control the bike at those locations. So you have a lane, it's over there, you're off a lane. I like how they put this spacer in here so that we'd stay farther away from the bicyclists, and the bicyclist wasn't in the bike lane. Anyway, so you guys tell me, what's your limits? What are you willing to do? And what other things should I look into if I want to enjoy expanding that ride more? Because if I got stuck in if I was traveling somewhere and got stuck in temperatures above 115, I just have to deal with it. Just stop more and get more fluids. And that's why I got like this modular helmet, so that if I was riding, I could, lift it up and drink something easier. But the cold line is kind of another line. It's like, well, at what point do I does it feel safe, especially at the speeds that I'm typically at? Because almost everything I do is highway speed. So, except for this route. So, I'm at my destination. I'm just kind of circling around, so thanks for coming along on this ride. You be safe and have fun. Until next time.